Hey friends, so today we're going to look at my first racing weekend, so the first two races in my racing weekend. I'm joined by a special guest. This is the famous Pip Hammond, aka my boyfriend. So he's going to roast my first two races in a loving way.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll still be happy with each other afterwards.
We'll see.
We'll see. Right, okay.
So what's this footage?
Race 2.
This is race 2.
Yeah.
We're casual now. We don't need to be sat in the car.
Oh, look at me swerve the line before getting out there.
Race 2, we're pro now.
Oh, we are pro. I'm starting my weave.
Everyone's over there now. But yeah, we're pro.
I'm trying to do a little weave and everyone's just left.
Like I say, it's that gamesmanship. You let their tyres cool down.
The thing is, I feel like, at this point, I'm going really fast.
And you are not.
And I am not.
Fast at this point.
They are so far in front.
It's sort of a weave, just like a gentle, really gentle side to side.
It's like, I don't want to do a weave, but like, I feel like I have to do something. Oh, I'm quite catching up now.
Look how much Craig's weaving. Look how much he's warming the tyres up.
And look what it did for him.
Maybe actually that's Jason. Craig's behind you.
Yeah, because I qualified alright. Not that my voice just got really high. Like, not that I didn't expect to. And it was because
they've gone again. Bye bye. It is hard, especially when you go to a track that you've not done before.
I do think that because it takes me a couple of laps to get you up and running and like good, like, just warmed up, that this first lap is quite, because at Silverstone you've got like the entire lap to go.
I don't quite remember the first lap of this race. It sounds like you're defending yourself and we haven't watched it yet.
Well, do you remember do you remember the start that we just watched and how bad it was? So I am psyching myself to have a good start.
I mean,
here.
you didn't stall.
I didn't stall.
That's the important thing.
I think it was because the first one, I just thought
we got to go forward a bit more.
I just thought I'd done so well.
Did, like, the practice start then, didn't they?
Yeah.
The marshals glare at you, but you don't really get in trouble for it. So
there's me really concerned that I rolled far too forwards. I think. Look at my concerned face.
Yeah. I don't need to watch the lights. I'll just watch these guys. It's good though. Get it in first. Find your bite. Hold it on the handbrake.
Yeah. Oh. No. And we're off.
Okay, that's a better jump.
Yeah.
That's a good start.
Yeah, but look.
Yeah, but he's like.
Who's the? Oh, look at Ted. Obviously, got well past me. Oh, I'm in it though. Look at me.
Yeah.
In with the people who are touching each other.
Giving the most room possible.
Yeah.
That's the shout number 1. Okay, we're in a race now.
I mean, we can see a race. I don't feel like we're in it. We can just see it.
It's just confidence. So like a lot of what's, I'm going to say what's missing. That sounds really harsh, but it's just not confident yet. Like not quite knowing where the limits are.
It's time on the track, I think.
Yeah.
Even watching, because you watched racing when you were a kid and stuff. Oh, look at this move!
What's that?
Did you see that move?
I think she's Sterling Moss.
I don't know who that is. Should I? Oh, this scared me because like people were going down the pit So that
Oh, yeah.
that's where the pit. You go for the pit, and people were going down there, and that scared me because I was like, do I follow them? Do
Well,
I
there
not?
were 3 cars there, weren't there?
Yeah, there was a lot of cars just going in the
There were 2
pits.
going down the pit lane, and then there was Stuart's car because there'd been a crash, and him and Ted had been in a crash.
But then did someone follow him or something?
Yeah, I think Pete Morgan was retiring, and then someone followed him thinking the race had been stopped.
My thought process on that was that if I did something wrong and stayed on the track, then it was my first race and I could be like, it's my first race! What were you going to say? Were you going to say that was a good
Yeah, it was
corner?
good and committed.
Number 1.
Craig must have committed a bit more.
Yeah, but he's feeling the pressure. A bit squirmy there. No, didn't.
No, that's just driving. Like, I think you said it best when you did the Cadwell race, when you were like, oh, it's really loose, the car's all over the place. It's like, no, that's just when you're going fast.
Yeah.
Like, that's what happens.
I came in, I was just like, it's really squirmy. Like, do I back off? And Pip's like, no.
Never back off. No, sorry.
I got him. I got him
Get him
again.
this time?
I got him again. I've got to get him. Have I? Did I? Yeah. But because I wasn't on the outside, I was really nervous because the thing is, once you know how to do a track and you're like, I know where to go, then when you're overtaking someone, it's not quite the same. It's like,
when you're off the normal line, you have to sort of
adjust, and I didn't quite know how much I had to adjust by. I feel like that was a good one.
Yeah, committed.
I feel like
still like not committed enough from the next bit.
I think you had a pep talk with me for that one.
See, I remember that your best lap in this race wasn't as good as your best lap in the previous one.
Oh, in number 2. I think it's because I was pushing and therefore I was making more mistakes. Like, I think if you added it up,
I think if you probably took all your best corners from this race, it would have been faster.
Yeah.
Like, you're right. I think you pushed harder and made a couple more mistakes.
Yeah. I feel like the first one was just to get confidence and stuff, and this one, oh, look at him overtake me. I haven't quite got that, like, Goering body language though, have I?
No, you're not. Like,
I'm still quite...
You're not up on the wheel yet.
I haven't warmed into it.
That's the shout number 3.
Oh look, Ted's taking me.
So.
Oh, this is the moment where I'm like, oh, I can
Just stay with Ted.
I can just stay with Ted. I honestly thought I could stick with him for at least. I was like, I'm just gonna go half a lap.
I'll just hang on to the back of this 13-year racing veteran with multiple wins.
I thought I had him. I thought I could stay with him.
So, as well as the fact that Ted's very fast, he was also driving very angry from being involved in that crash that sent all the cars down the pit lane. So.
Yeah, and this is the moment where I was like, I can't hang on to him.
Yeah, because of how the crash happened, he ended up having to go down the pit lane. He actually just ended up in the pit lane as a consequence of.
And you've got to go slow in the pit lane because the pit lane's got slow speed limit.
Committed around that first sequence that time.
I could still see Ted.
Yeah.
Like, or was it a feed?
That was very much a wheel shuffle. See, watching it, like, it seems you're being more aggressive with the car, so it looks like it should be faster, but it's not always true that just looking like you're fighting a bear is going faster.
Well, I do feel a bit like I've got my, like, racing body language on a bit there.
Yeah.
What I was saying before
There's a lot
was
less
like,
adjusting of ground straps.
what I was saying before was I think this is the only 13-minute race that I've actually done.
This weekend, these 2 races, the only short races.
The only short races, because then I sort of figured that I like the longer races because I can take a few laps to get into it and still then have fun, if that makes sense. Like, I can take a few laps to get into it and then just be in it and just focus on getting better and better and better, and then
Sounded more committed around there that time.
tired.
Yeah, I mean, The thing is, if you need a few laps to get into it, in these sort of sprint race scenarios, the race is already over.
Yeah.
You have to just be ready to go hell for leather from start to finish.
I think it also, like, I'm just so...
I mean, it's an overwhelming situation.
That's because I got 4th, wasn't it?
Yeah, I got the wrong gear there.
Got the wrong gear.
I think you were actually 5th. That's why it didn't say
Oh, was I in 5th?
Yeah.
Did you see how, like, I tried to get into gear before I set off? Like, I tried, because I remember watching you have a spin or a crash, and you got into, like, first gear, and then just set off, like, because you were in the gear, like, as you were spinning, and I tried really hard to, like...
Well, there's nothing else to do while you're spinning. You might as well get the right gear and be ready to set off again.
I love that spin. The thing is, I've seen that spin so many times, because it's the classic Esther spin.
The little scream.
And the little scream. You see, the thing is, I've spun on all but 2 of my races.
I mean, that's something to be proud of, I guess.
On like 2/3 of my races I spin. So there's a high proportion of races.
Did you spin at the Burkett?
I didn't spin at the Burkett. Spun...
So you kept your foot in that time because you're chasing him.
I'm chasing him. Still got my hand on the gear stick.
Yeah, still got that.
Oh, look!
Still got that casual vibe.
Look! Did you see me overtake him on the first corner?
Yeah, and you went faster into that corner on the inside of the corner than you did on the normal racing line. Very impressive.
I was very scared.
That's what you do. You
Okay. That's someone else. I got very close though. I got very spooked.
Well, he spooked you there because I think Craig's going to come back and have a go, isn't he? Esther shouting again.
I think that's where Craig almost hit me. Possibly not. There's one point where he almost hits me, and he said himself...
Oh, sorry, I'm just listening to that engine scream because you've just stayed in 4th for that time.
Is it eating you up inside?
You just took hours off the engine.
I'll build you. I built you this one. I'll build you another one. I forgot what I was saying now.
Something about nearly getting run into.
Oh yeah, when I talked to Craig, he was like, "Yeah, I thought I was gonna hit you. I don't know how I didn't."
In that lovely, fresh, rock-coloured door.
In that rock-coloured door. I am being chased, aren't I?
Yeah. All those nervous glances in the mirror.
I'm so nervous. Did I lift really early that time? Like, I was so committed when I was like doing the overtake last time.
Yeah. Well, you can tell when any driver's getting tired really for how much their head leans into the corner. So you want, or whether they can stay on the track, but you look how much your head's leaning over now in the corners.
I think as well, like my hands, like it always takes 2 hands to push the wheel. That's also an indication that you're tired.
It's quite heavy steering on that car. Your body language is sort of slumped a little bit. Like you're just in like, I need to survive now.
I just didn't want to be last. I was like, not last.
But I mean, that's a pretty good line. Just, you can always tell there was more. You could have rolled into it faster because there's track left on the exit. That's what I say. Like you're generally more accurate in the slower corners.
That one was like proper. Like had to go back on myself to get around the next corner. That was terrible.
The thing is, like you can watch it and know that you know where the car is supposed to be on the track, and like you understand it technically, and it's just having the commitment to really just barrel into the corners, especially at Silverstone where so much of the run-up tarmac where if you make a mistake, you're just like, who cares? Like, there's like, I'd run out of fuel before I hit anything, it'd be fine.
You see, I think, what was I going to say?
What do you think?
I don't know.
You just passed James Hasselhurst because he was stopped.
Oh, did I? Oh no.
I think it was James. Sorry, James, if it wasn't.
Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So like, you know, when you've done a corner and you've done it wrong, at this point, and even now, I don't know enough of the driving aspects of it to know exactly how I did it wrong in the moment. Like I know it was wrong, but I don't quite know.
Spending time analysing it is the worst thing to do. Like whether you did it right or wrong, you can't like stop. You don't get to pause and assess it. You've just got to keep going.
Yeah.
You just always have to keep going. Whether you did it, you can't have a rest if you did it right, and you can't think about if you got it wrong.
Are you always like analysing the next? Like I know you've got to focus on the next corner and the next corner, and you've even got to focus on the next corner whilst you're still taking the corner and stuff. But like, are you analysing how to take that corner type thing, or are you?
I noticed if it felt faster or slower. And one of the reasons we run, you know, even like the rudimentary data logging is because I've raced now for like 12 years. When you start, you can just tell the difference because you make big changes on every lap and it all feels different every time and you can sort of remember. But as it becomes more and more repeatable, you get less and less able to sort of tell when a technique change or a different braking point made any difference, and you need it in black and white on a little screen in front of you to know whether you gained time or lost time. So there is a little bit of assessing it there. Like you'll try and see if you're a couple of hundred RPMs higher or lower.
You're chasing the like tenth of the second, where I'm chasing like tens of seconds.
I think tenths is harsh. I think seconds maybe is fair. Tens of seconds is, you know, this isn't the Nürburgring. I never got to a repeatable time either, did I? Like my time kept coming down and down and down, and I think in almost every race I've never really felt like I can go out and do the same time for each lap, time and time again. I haven't got to that point where I'm just repeatable, which is why it doesn't matter what I race. I just is this last lap. Can you tell? Can you tell I was so excited and so tired? You overexcited yourself, didn't you?
Yeah.
So see if that head's still leaning in. See now, because you got like that last lap board encouragement, you aren't flopping over as much. You know what I mean?
Sparked, aren't I? I'm excited for this.
But and then Craig ambushed you.
Should we go back?
No, just later on. So like you've already seen that it's the last lap.
Yeah.
And Craig
just nipped past me. Hated that.
But
then he went that side, so I was like, why is he going that side? Like,
it's defensive.
And he was like, oh, it's because I always overtook him on that side, so he thought he'd go on that side. And I was like, I sailed past him so easily. I felt so bad. I actually felt bad on that time. I was like, I built too good an engine. Actually, to be fair, it's mostly with Richard's guidance, wasn't it?
Yeah. But anyway, we made a last lap pass.
Last lap pass.
And he cut the corner a little bit. It's alright, you get through. It's alright, where are you going? There we go. Not sure the race is finished. Are we sure yet?
I don't think we are. Did it finish on the first line?
Some of the tracks are strange. You have like a start line and a finish line, and they're different, which just has always baffled me. Like, I don't know why that is.
I think I only just realised it sort of. See, the thing is, you don't want to like back off too early and then it not really end.
You don't want to like be the one that gets caught. That. I mean, there's some really famous examples of people that have done that over the years.
And I couldn't see anyone as well. That spooked me.
Hello, James.
least I'm waving two marshals this time.
Yeah, you're waving
Like,
to people.
I'm actually waving two
not just
people.
sections of barrier.
Look, I knew that one wasn't a thing, you see. I did a vague
Just
wave.
a little, just in case wave. There was
one. Not screaming so hard, like it's not quite as high pitched.
No, well, you're an experienced racing
yeah.
driver now.
Yeah, this is just my wave. Like
Done twos of race.
I think this is the first and only time that I ran with 33 as well. So you have to pick a number like for when you're a racing driver, and I picked 33 because it was Dr. Quate me in Spebble scores, I think, because I wanted some meaning behind it, and that's the meaning I went. So yeah, and I think this is the only time I actually raced with it. Yeah, so that was my first race weekend.
Pretty good. Like
Yeah?
Yeah, I reckon you should do another.
What would you give me out of 10?
I think that's. I'm going to give it a 7 because you didn't put a mark on the car.
Didn't put a mark on the car.
I
spun because I was trying really hard.
Yeah, well, that's why it's not a 10 for one.
Because I spun.
I think just a little bit more commitment, and because you know where to put the car on the track, and I think you fundamentally understand how all of it works. You just need to do it more, like anything, You should be done eating before you start your intro.